Dating is like sailing on a vast ocean, one wrong move, one careless word, and you might find yourself lost at sea, drifting away from the shore of connection. Have you ever sent a message and instantly wished you could take it back? Or worse, waited for a reply that never came? That silence, it's not just awkward, it's like dropping an anchor in empty water. What if I told you every word you send is like a wave, either carrying you closer to him or pushing you further away? Words aren't just letters on a screen. They're the winds that set your course. Imagine this, my friends, your message is like the scent of fresh bread in a quiet bakery early in the morning. It doesn't shout for attention, but it pulls him in gently, making him want more without even realizing why. That's the kind of energy you want to send. A message that feels like a safe harbor, not a storm. Before we set sail, do me a favor, smash that like button and hit subscribe. What I'm about to share isn't just any advice. It's your compass for navigating the tricky waters of texting. So stay with me because you're about to learn how to send messages that don't just get a reply. They spark desire and leave him thinking about you long after the phone goes dark. Now, I know the world tells you to keep it casual. Hey, what's up? Or good morning. But here's the truth. If you want a real connection, you've got to send more than just words. You've got to send energy. Real connection isn't a game of quick chats and emojis. It's a dance of hearts. And the right words, they're your sails catching the wind, guiding you towards something deeper. This isn't about playing tricks or manipulation. It's about power. The power of knowing your worth and speaking from that place. When you text from confidence, not fear, you stop chasing. You start attracting. And believe me, the man who feels that kind of pull won't just respond, he'll remember, he'll carry your words like a favorite song. So if you're tired of feeling invisible in his messages, done with the endless waiting and wondering, this is your moment. Because the texts I'm about to share aren't just messages, they're little anchors of connection, pulling him closer to you. Get ready to learn how to craft words that make him pause, smile, maybe even blush, long after the screen goes dark. When you master this, you don't just get a reply, you create a presence, a feeling, a place in his heart no one else can touch. So buckle up, my friends. It's time to stop texting like everyone else and start texting like the powerful, unforgettable woman you are. Hit that like button, subscribe for more, and most importantly, stay with me. The best is yet to come. Number 1, the mystery message. The most dangerous thing you can do in love is to be predictable, mati. Imagine walking into a room full of noise, people shouting, music blaring, and right in the middle, there's someone sitting quietly, calm and collected, their eyes locking onto yours with a secret smile. You don't need to hear what they say. Their silence pulls you in. That's the power of mystery. Today I'm going to teach you how to send messages like that, messages that don't scream for attention, but echo in his mind long after he reads them. So stay with me because this is the first key to becoming unforgettable. Let me be honest, you might be thinking, what if he doesn't respond? What if I come off too forward or weird? That's fear whispering doubts. But here's the truth, most people shout to be heard. They flood inboxes with noise, trying too hard to prove their worth. And what happens? They blend in with the crowd. But the woman who masters mystery, she stands apart, calm and confident, letting curiosity do the heavy lifting. Think about a movie trailer that shows just enough to hook you, but never gives away the ending. That's what your message should feel like. An invitation, not a full reveal. The human brain hates unfinished stories. When you leave a spark, his mind will chase it, wondering, imagining, wanting more. And here's how you start. Try texting. You won't believe what I dreamed about you last night. Or, I had the strangest thought about you this morning. Even once, there's something about you I can't stop thinking about. Guess what? These aren't demands for answers. They're gentle pulls, quiet invitations that make him lean in, eager to discover what you're holding back. Carl Jung once said, mystery surrounds the masculine mind like a magnet, When you give him that little mystery, you don't just get his attention, you get his imagination. And when you're inside a man's imagination, you're halfway to his heart. So don't rush to fill every silence. Don't spell out every thought. Learn to whisper in ways that echo. This is just the beginning. Next, we'll dive deeper into messages that don't just stir curiosity. They ground his spirit. Stay with me. Number 2, the message that grounds his spirit. Strength isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the quiet voice at the end of a long day that says, "I'm here." Picture this, a lion, fierce and proud, prowling through the wild, but even the mightiest lion needs a place to rest, a moment to breathe without the weight of the hunt pressing down. Now imagine being that place for him, the calm in his chaos, the peace in his storm. Today I'm going to share with you a message that does just that. So stay with me, because this kind of message doesn't just get a reply. It grounds him, it settles the fire inside, and makes him feel seen in a way no flashy text ever will. You might be wondering, well, what if he thinks I'm being too soft? What if he expects me to be the fire, the spark? Here's the thing, my friends. Real strength isn't about always being on. Men, especially those who carry responsibility like a shield, often hide the storms inside. They wear their strength like armor, but beneath it, they're craving a safe place where they don't have to perform or pretend. And that's where your message comes in. It's not about fixing or pushing. It's about holding space, saying, "Hey, I don't know what today holds, but I believe in you, and I'm with you." Those words are like a gentle hand on his shoulder, steady, unwavering, without expectation. Think of it like the eye of a hurricane, the quiet center where everything is still and safe. When you send this kind of message, you're not asking him to prove himself to you. You're giving him permission to be human, to breathe, to lower the guard he never thought he could drop. As Brené Brown says, vulnerability is the birthplace of love, belonging, joy, courage, empathy, and creativity. When you offer him that kind of vulnerability, you're not showing weakness. You're demonstrating the deepest kind of power. So if you want to be the woman who isn't just another voice in his inbox, be the one who becomes his calm, his anchor, his peace. And trust me, when a man finds that in you, he doesn't just stay, he builds. And now that we've found the calm, get ready, because next we're going to step into the world of imagination, where desire lives and dreams begin. Stay with me. Number 3, the daydream trigger. Desire isn't a roar, it's the softest whisper that lingers long after the moment is gone. Imagine waking up on a quiet Sunday morning, the kind where the world feels paused. No rush, no noise, just calm. You're sitting somewhere peaceful, maybe a porch with a slow breeze, and beside you is someone who makes everything feel right. That feeling? That's the kind of message you want to send. So stay with me, because today I'm going to show you how to plant that quiet spark in his mind, where desire breathes and lingers. Now you might wonder, what if he thinks I'm moving too fast or that I'm being too soft? Let me tell you, desire isn't always loud or aggressive. It's subtle, it's steady, like a slow burning flame that warms the heart instead of scorching it. When you invite him into a peaceful daydream with you, you're giving him something rare, a moment to imagine you as his calm, his comfort, his future. Try sending something like, "Woke up imagining us somewhere quiet, just peace and you." Do you ever picture things like that? Or, "I found myself daydreaming about us escaping the noise, just a little calm somewhere." Even do you ever think about those slow moments where nothing needs to be said? These messages don't demand answers. They open doors. They create space for him to step into a world where you're already there. It's like planting a seed in fertile soil. It doesn't explode overnight, but given time, it grows roots and blooms. The mind craves these gentle visions because desire doesn't just live in passion. It lives in peace, in possibility. As the poet Rumi said, let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. When you softly draw him into that quiet daydream, you don't just become a message in his phone. You become a feeling he wants to chase. So get ready because we're just getting started. After we plant this seed of desire, next we're going to talk about seeing Him, really seeing Him, the part most missed but every man longs for. Stay with me. Number 4, the unseen compliment. Most people throw around compliments like confetti, loud, flashy, and everywhere. But real connection, that's found in the quiet moments no one else sees. Imagine walking into a crowded room where everyone's shouting their praises, but you spot someone standing quietly in the corner, not because they want attention, but because they see the details others miss, the subtle gestures, the unspoken truths. That's the power of seeing someone. And today, my friends, I'm going to show you how to send messages that do just that. So stay with me. You might ask yourself, what if I say something too small, too simple? Here's the secret. The smallest, most unnoticed things carry the deepest meaning. Everyone notices the obvious, the smile, the muscles, the flashy success. But what about the moments when he truly listens, when he's present? That's what matters. And try sending him a message like, you know what I noticed about you? You really listen, like actually listen. Or, I don't think I've told you how much I appreciate how you remember the little things. Even, it's rare to find someone who's truly present. That's you. These aren't just compliments. They're precision praise. They tell him, I see the real you, the parts no one else notices. Think of it like a jeweler finding a diamond in the rough. While others pass by, you spot the true gem. Men carry silent battles and quiet strengths that often go unrecognized. When you acknowledge that, you don't just get his attention, you earn a place in his heart. As Maya Angelou said, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. When you make him feel truly seen, you become unforgettable. So if you want to stand out from the crowd, stop shouting compliments and start whispering truths, because that's where real connection begins. Number 5, the anchor in his chaos. Sometimes the strongest storms come from the quietest skies, and the heaviest burdens are carried in silence. Picture a man walking through a thunderstorm, shoulders hunched against the rain, lightning flashing all around. He's holding the weight of the world on his back, battling winds no one sees. Now imagine you are the lighthouse, steady, unwavering, shining a calm light that guides him safely to shore. That's the kind of message I'm about to teach you to send. So stay with me, because this isn't just about words. It's about becoming his anchor in the chaos. You might worry, what if he sees me as weak? What if he expects me to be the strong one all the time? Here's the truth, my friends. Real strength isn't about carrying everything alone. Even the mightiest warriors need a place to lay down their swords and just breathe. When you send a message that says no pressure, no answers needed, just wanted to remind you, you don't have to be strong for me, you're giving him something rare, a permission slip to be human. Think of it like a harbor in the middle of a stormy sea. It's not flashy or loud, it doesn't demand anything, it simply is. And when a man finds that kind of peace in you, he doesn't just appreciate it, he guards it fiercely. Because safety isn't about fireworks, it's about quiet trust. As Rainer Maria Rilke said, be patient toward all that is unsolved in your heart and try to love the questions themselves. When you love him enough to offer space without demands, you create intimacy deeper than any grand gesture. So if you want to be the woman he turns to when the world is too heavy, the calm in his storm, start with this message, because when a man feels safe with you, he doesn't just stay, he builds a life. Number 6, the echo of a memory. Memory is a silent thief. It steals moments from the past and plants them like seeds in the heart waiting to bloom again. Imagine you're flipping through an old photo album, not the flashy, perfect pictures, but the candid shots, the little moments nobody noticed at the time, a silly smile, a shared glance, a laugh that caught you off guard. That's the kind of magic I want you to send in your messages. So stay with me, because today I'm giving you a message that doesn't just reach him, it takes him back. You might wonder, what if I don't have big memories? What if it feels too random? Here's the secret. Connection isn't built only on grand moments. Sometimes it's those tiny sparks. The dumb joke that made him laugh so hard he forgot the world. The quiet second when everything felt easy that live on inside us. When you remind him of those moments, you pull him back through time, back to you. Try texting. Random moment popped in my head just now. That time you laughed at the dumbest joke and I caught myself smiling again. Or I was just thinking about that goofy thing you said the other day. I can't stop smiling. Even, remember when we couldn't stop laughing at that silly moment? I keep replaying it. These messages aren't just words, they're time machines, sending him to a place where joy and connection were real and effortless. Think of it like a favorite song that suddenly plays on the radio, unexpected, nostalgic, and powerful. That warmth floods back, reminding him how good it felt to be with you. As Marcel Proust said, remembrance of things past is not necessarily the remembrance of things as they were. When you echo those memories, you create a feeling that's alive, growing, and deeply yours. So if you want to be more than a name on his screen, start weaving these threads of memory into your messages. Because connection isn't just new, it's a beautiful tapestry stitched through time. Number 7, the soft power move. True power isn't loud or flashy, it's the quiet strength to be real in a world full of masks. Imagine a knight after battle, armor dented, sword heavy, finally able to lay down his weapons and just breathe. Behind every strong man is that same longing, to be seen without the shield, to be known without pretense. Today, I'm going to show you how to send a message that gives him that freedom. So stay with me because this is where true connection begins. You might think, what if he's not ready? What if he expects me to be impressed by his strength? Here's the truth, my friends. The man worth your time isn't impressed by the performance. He's drawn to the woman who invites him to drop the act, to just be. Try texting. You don't have to do anything to impress me. You just have to be real with me. Or leave the armor at the door. I want to see the man behind it. Even, I'm not here for the show. I'm here for the truth. These messages don't ask for perfection. They offer acceptance. They say, here, you can be human, and that's enough. Think of it like a soft light in a dark room, welcoming, warm, and steady. When you offer that kind of peace, he won't just appreciate it, he'll crave it. Because realness isn't weakness. It's the strongest kind of attraction. As Brené Brown reminds us, vulnerability is not winning or losing, it's having the courage to show up and be seen. When you give him permission to be seen fully, you become the woman he runs back to again and again. So if you want to stop chasing and start attracting, start sending messages that invite truth. Because when a man feels he can be real with you, his soul finds its home. And now, my friends, we're closing in on the last secret, the unexpected reminder that turns fleeting moments into lasting devotion. Number 8, the unexpected reminder. Words are like stones thrown into a river. The splash is brief, but the ripples go on forever. Imagine standing by a flowing river, tossing a pebble into the water. The splash fades quickly, but the circles keep spreading, touching every shore downstream. That's exactly what your words do when they carry real meaning. Today, I'm going to teach you a message that drops a stone so powerful, its ripples last far longer than you think. So stay with me. Because this isn't just about what you say, it's about how deeply you can matter. You might worry, what if it sounds too much? What if he thinks I'm overthinking? Here's the truth, my friends. Men don't just want to be heard, they want to be remembered. Not the flashy compliments or empty flattery, but the genuine validation that says, you left a mark on me. Try texting, by the way, I still think about that one thing you said last week. It stuck with me more than you know. Or Tirnia, that thing you mentioned the other day keeps coming back to me. I didn't forget. Even, you said something that stayed with me, it mattered. These messages aren't about praising ego. They're about honoring essence. They tell him, you mattered. Think of it like a tattoo etched not on skin, but on the heart, permanent, personal, unforgettable. When you offer that kind of acknowledgement, you don't just get attention, you earn emotional gravity. Because what lasts isn't the loudest moment. It's the quiet truth remembered in the stillness. As Maya Angelou said, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. When you make him feel valued and seen, you become unforgettable. So if you want to be more than just a passing text in his day, start dropping these meaningful stones. Because those ripples, they build a connection no one else can break. And now, my friends, you've got the keys to open his heart. Use them wisely and watch how your words transform not just conversations, but entire relationships. You've just unlocked the power of words that create real connection and lasting attraction. Remember, it's not about playing games, it's about speaking from your truth with intention and confidence. If these messages spoke to your heart, don't keep them to yourself. Hit that like button, subscribe for more deep, real advice, and share this video with someone ready to level up their love life. Together we'll build connections that matter. Stay soft, stay strong, and most importantly, stay unforgettable. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.